Okay, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutation to the true laborers in Yahweh Yahweh Shai. All right. Basically, I'm going to go into this video about Habakkuk 2 and 3 and an in-depth look at the Hebrew, you know, and the Hebrew of this scripture, because when you go into the Hebrew, it gives a better definition, a clearer understanding, man. You know, that's what help you excel in through the Spirit, man. First it has to be through the Spirit. You know, the Spirit has to be working with you, and then you get into this Hebrew, man. You get a deeper understanding of the scriptures. All right. However, when brothers go into the Hebrew, you know, myself included, you know, a lot of brothers, you know, we go into the Hebrew and we want to go get a word right quick. You know, we just go to this area right here, you know, that I have highlighted, that's lit up real quick. You know, we go into this area where, you know, it doesn't really give, this part itself doesn't even give a true in-depth understanding of what the scripture is trying to say. You know, we just go here real quick and we just get the best that we can at that point in time, whether it be on the street or doing the video. However, I'm going to go into this part that you see up here, you know, and the biggest difference of this section is that you get prefixes, suffixes, and then you get tense changes, meaning you have the word, when you have the word, I'm gonna just use for example, you have the word I don't know, you say, I'm gonna just use the word Yakal, all right, which means to endure. Now when you say Yahweh call, when you have Yah and you put a Y on the second character, Yahweh call, it makes it a present tense, so it means enduring. Your call means to endure. Yahweh call means enduring. So that's why it's important to go into the Hebrew, because it gives you, like I said, a better definition of the word and a more in-depth understanding. Also, too, like the prologue of Sirach, it talks about how the words that are translated from the Hebrew into another language don't have the same force, because you could change up some of those characters. And when the characters change, you may have not a completely different word, but you know, when you translate it from Hebrew to English, it'd be a completely different word. And you got to also keep in mind that when we read in the Hebrew, you're translating from Hebrew to English, not English to Hebrew. All right. And when I go into the scripture, you'll see what I mean. Right. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. All right, where it has here, it says kaya. This word kaya means four. All right, four. Yeah, ka and ya means four, not the number four, but four, like the word says here. For the vision is for the vision. Okay. Now it says for Iwad Chazawan. Now keep in mind, when you read into Hebrew, first of all, it's right to left. All right. With that being said, the verb comes before the noun. Okay? The verb comes before the noun in Hebrew. And in many other languages, just that English is such a bastard tongue, it's backwards, okay? Continuing, it says, for Iwad, now this word Iwad here is for yet. This word yet. For yet. And the word Iwad is also synonymous with still, or continuation. For yet, Hazawan means vision. For the vision, you know, and what's the vision? The prophecies. All right. Lama wa'id. Now this word lama wa'id, it means appointed, appointments. Now I have another scripture here that we can go into that has that same scripture. This is Genesis chapter 1 and 14. All right. And it says, and Elohim said, let there be lights in the firmaments of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons. Now this word season, again, you have the word mawa'id, same as the word here, mawa'id. Okay, but here it says appointed, or appoint, which really appointments. When you go a little deeper, it really means dates. All right, and also too, I have to give let brothers know that when I translated this, I also use what's known as Google Translate on my phone, on my cell phone. I have an iPhone, and then you can download Google Translate as an app. But also too, you have to get the Hebrew text. When you go and get the Hebrew text, you can put that in Google Translate, and it'll give you the definition of the word. And sometimes it gives you a more direct understanding of the word. Like this word here, mawa'id, is the word date. All right. Now it says, going back, it says kaya, iwad, chazawan, la mawa'id. Now this word la, you have the word mawa'id here, and you have the word la here. All right. Now the word la means two. When you have not the number two, but the word two, like to here or to there. Now it's saying to date, division to date. All right. And then it says, wayapach. All right. Wayapach. And you have the word, the root word there is pach. No, salakia, pawak. All right, you see the difference. You have pawak, when it's written in a sentence form, it's wayapak. Now wayapak means to breathe, actually. Now the word here for speak, they have pawak, but when you go into the sentence, you see the difference. You go into the Hebrew. From English, you're saying speak. When you read it out in the streets, we read in the scriptures, and it says to speak. However, this word means to breathe. All right, it means to breathe, to puff, snort. Nah, that's off. To excite, inflame. You can use inflame. That's definitely because why? The words of the Lord is likened unto fire. All right. Pant for, to breathe out, utter, to blow, to blast. All right. So we know that word means to breathe. Why? Because it said wayapach. Part of my slow ass computer, man. It's fucking bullshit, man. Now the shit when I act stupid. If it ain't one thing, it's another, man. Some bullshit, man. Yeah. But, like I was saying, going into the Hebrew, showing you right here, because someone would say, Shalakia. Someone would read it and just see the word speak, and not truly understand what that actually saying until you go into the Hebrew. Oh my God, man. This don't make no sense. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I'm telling you, man. Fuck. Should work now, man. Just go back, man. Guess I can't do that no more. If it ain't one thing, it's another, man. I'm telling you. But anyway, getting back to the scripture, as we read, it said Kaya, Iwad, Chazawan, Lamawa'id, and we know that word Lamawa'id means date or to date. And then you have the word Wayapak, which means to breathe. Right? Because the word, when you have wa, when you have the prefix wa, where's it at? Here it goes. When you have the prefix wa right there, it changes up the word wayapak. Now wayapak means to breathe when you have the whole word together. That's why I was explaining before, when you have certain suffixes and you have certain words, when you have certain characters that's in a certain word, it could change the dynamic of the whole word itself. All right. Then it says la quataza, la quataza. Now peep it out, right? It says, but at the end, and then it says quataza. Now the word quataza means to cut. All right. The word quataza means to cut. All right. Now it says la quataza. It says to cut. All right. To cut. Now it says when the breath is going to cut. What is it going to cut? That date. That specific date. All right. That specific date. For what? The vision. Actually, when you read it, sorry to say, but we're here in America, we're so fucking backwards. When you read the Hebrew backwards, it actually says what it's trying to say in English. You know? See, it says to cut. What is it? The breath is going to cut, you know, the date. You know what I'm saying? And what? From the vision. All right? What's the vision? The prophecy. All right? And then it says, wala'ah. And the word wala'ah means and not. And not. So it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time or date. All right? And at the when it really, it says in the English, it says, but at the end, well, we know it says to cut. All right, to cut. Why? The scriptures say, one generation passed, another generation cometh, but the earth shall abide forever, because it's going to be a cut of Esau society. All right, that's what the end is. The cut. You know, like in the when the directors cut. You know, in the middle of a movie, they're in a scene, and what happens? They say, "Hold up, cut." You know, and they have a brief intermission. But what do? They continue with the movie. All right. It says la quataza, which means to cut, wala'ah, and not, right? Yacha, no, Salakia. It says yakazab. Now the word yakazab means should lie. La'ah, yakazab, and not should lie. And not should lie. All right? So it's not going to lie, pretty much. And then it says Now the word you're not going to find this down at the bottom here. Okay? And actually, the root word is actually changed also for the word tarry. It says yaf mama. Yaf mama. Yaf mama. Now the word is not ama, or it's not I'm. Okay, it's It's not, because ama is mother. Is if. The word if. Yaf mama. Now the word means, I'm not going to click it, man. I want to go here to click it and show you what it is. You know, brothers, y'all want to do it on your own time. Feel free, Baba Kushar. But my computer's stupid. And if I click it, we'll be here all fucking day. Alright? So, I'm basically give you the translation. It says, if postponed. Alright? If postponed. What is it talking about being postponed? The date. The date. Because what? The prophets give the vision, you know, for the cutting of the date. Alright? If postponed, because what? Even you have example with our elder apostles where it was postponed to them. Alright? They got the vision, they got the prophecies, but it was postponed, man. Alright? And I'm going to prove to you that that's what this is talking about. Alright? Further going into the rest of these words in the Hebrew. Alright? Continuing, it says, alright, this word here is hakalawa. Hakalawa. And this word is very important to pay attention to, right? Because this word here, haka, it means, Salakia, it means wait. Wait. Now, when you put this word lawa in there, it means it, or wait for it. Because remember, we're translating from Hebrew to English. It just says wait it, or mean like, you know, when you tell somebody wait it out, that's what this scripture is saying. Wait it. Now, the important part to pay attention to is this part here, the very end where it has why. Why? Because when you have why at the end of a word, it makes it masculine. Now, it's saying wait it, but the it is really talking about a person. All right? Now, and the it and the he is talking about Yahweh Shai when he returns. All right? And it says, it says Kaya Ba'a. Kaya Ba'a. That means that comes. All right? That comes. All right? The word Kaya can mean for as well. You know, the word Kaya means for, or for to come. That's what the scripture is really saying. It's saying for to come. Wait for him or it for to come. All right? For to come. Or that for comes, more or less. Not for to come, but that for comes. Like, he's coming, man. All right? And then it says Yaba'ah, and the word Yaba'ah means to import. And again, you got to go into this, you know, yourself through the spirit, man, because if I click it, computer's going to be all jacked up. I wasn't doing this a second ago, you know, but it's doing this shit now, man. You know? Because you have Bawa'ah, and you have Bawa'ah twice. Now, this word, see how it shows a difference in the definition. Kayaba'ah, Yaba'ah. Alright? When you just go to Bawa, when you go Bawa'ah, it's just going to show you the same words, but it's really not the same words. You know, because we go deeper than Esau, man. You know? And then it says La'ah, which means not. Not no, because the word no is ayan. I mean, La'ah is not. Not what? Now it's talking about this person that's for to come, and what? To come in. Because that word Yaba'ah means to import. And the word import, I got it here, I can do this. The word import says the main definition is into or in. Alright? In. Alright? Signify, make known, express information, to convey information. In. Again, the word in, express. You know, in. Alright? So, see, even though you have the word ba'ah twice, it's showing you two different things because of the prefixes. It's showing, it gives it a whole nother dynamic of the word. All right. So la'ah, ya'achar, ya'achar. That's what that word is. This word right here, ya'achar. You know what this word is? That they have in the English is Terry. Achar. Achar. Ya'achar. And what is that talk? It's saying, it's pretty much telling you, it's saying it again, it will not tarry, but it's really, Yah means he. He won't tarry. And what is that word there? I want to click it, but I can't. You go into that word there, either use Google Translate, it'll help you. And you also, too, you can click on the Blue Letter Bible, and this H309, and it means late. Late. And then notice how this word for tarry is mama is really mama. This right here, mama. Okay, it's really mama, and that's a different word. Though it tarry, you know, though it's postponed, okay, it will not be late, or he won't be late. Okay, that's basically showing you right there. The Hebrew gives a whole nother dynamic of the scripture, as you can read it for yourself, and it shows you that it's giving you a whole nother definition when you go into the Hebrew, man. A whole nother definition when you go into the Hebrew. And that shows the importance of the Hebrew. So the hell with all these other, well, I can't say all the other camps, because it's mainly one camp talking about the Hebrew ain't important, and that's Nate Satan, man. All right, and the IUIC clowns. All right, the purple people eaters. All right. With that, I want to say all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the laborers, the sincere laborers out there teaching His word in sincerity and truth, the elect as well. Shalom.